हाँ। Sweet. Divine. Sugar Crush. Sugar.
अपने साथ कई सारी मिस्ट्रीज लेके आता है, काफी हद तक आपको वर्टिकल एलिमेंट्स में नजर आते हैं, आपको एक अलग अटैचमेंट भी नजर आती है। रॉकी भाई क्यों ना आप इसमें आपका नाम ले।
देखिए कालाहारी डेफिनेटली
In the ultimate test of skill and strategy, only the strongest will survive. Welcome to the arena where legends are born. To claim victory, you must challenge you.
Jump on this opportunity, right? And that opportunity is a very simple one. Reach 80 points. On how the teams is going to start off this battle. But I do agree with you. Excuses. Just one path. Victory or nothing. Wrong with the team right now, or is it just because of the mode and they're more focused on Battle Royale? So if this is weird, that will be answered. Yeah, are they really, or is he really Wasana that we know of, or Washana? Because it seems like that's how it's going to look like. Well, amen, brother. Yes, was I disappointed with Wasana yesterday? I don't know if I was disappointed with Wasana. It is what it is. Sometimes you've got a good day, sometimes you've got a miserable day. Yesterday was a miserable day for Wasana. Maybe today is the good day. Which day is more important? I think Wasana would pick Battle Royale Day over Clash Squad just because we've got more than triple the money available if you become champion. So I think I am not going to, drown Wasana or kick him out of my list of champions that I look forward to seeing perform out there on the battlefield just yet. Because, you see, we also have to acknowledge that at the start of the season, when the M590 was key to victory, Wasana was not popping off, right? And then he changed his shotgun. He was trying to use some of the non-meta shotguns. We saw the Rogon being popped off, and then we saw sometimes him picking up the Charge Buster because he was just trying to go back to what he was used to. But we did see him in more recent times popping off the M590. I think yesterday was just a little bit of a letdown. So let's hope that he was let down at the right moment, because this is where you need to ramp it up, baby, as we start things off at the good old Bermuda. Yeah, the green grass of home for Free Fire fans and survivors out there. This is Bermuda, and let's see where the teams will be dropping off. Would it the usual drop spot that they take, or would they change their approach? Because this is the grand finals. As you can see, they're already a little bit too early have already taken their place, and we're not seeing that much of a hot drop. They have been prepared all throughout or before this game has started.
Amen, brother. Now, there was a question. Are the casters in the same room? No, we are brothers, but we are in two different countries, okay? I'm shoutcasting from Malaysia. Neptune is shoutcasting from the Philippines. But yeah, I know. It looks like we're in the same room because we rock. RRQ with an early drop here up against Team Flash. It's hot drop time, baby. But the question is exactly who's going to be able to walk away untouched, landed and locked into chaos. 18 deer? Nani?
I think 18 deer is a little lost. The same goes for Death as well as Wang. And so let's see what's going to happen in a bit at this moment, because it's not only a Death and 18 deer who might be going against each other. Another set of players would be on the other side, which is Abe as well as Wang M. But as you can see, BGR jumping into the other compound, and they might be seeing the end of the zone in this moment. But here comes the dump from the man, but holy mama, this guy just delivered carnage in the name of Megatron Esports, dropping on in, picking up the numbers. Abe though, stopping Wang from getting away. Double revives instantaneously here for Team Flash and ABCD. The final survivor that did manage to loot up a little bit here as he backs away from the compound. Thankfully, Megatron Esports will be keeping the players a tad bit distracted. EVOS up against Falcons could still be a thing here as ABCD now potentially about to run out of the pan into the fire. Limit spots him, but I don't think he's got the kind of gun to directly hit him from here. Yeah, Plasma might have some rework that has been done, but doesn't have that much in terms of that long range. So let's see if what's going to happen for Team that position. But of course, right now going toe-to-toe against the Todak, and the Todak just sprung themselves off the team. Shot on but Todak is the first one who goes down. That is from the hands of Traps.
Trying to get some sort of damage in here, but the SMG is just not made for long-range combat. Now losing his glue wall. Very smart on the pro. No angles to work with for Toda, but they say no problem, Jose, as they hop on in looking for LPT. 30 more HP on him as he blitz out of there. 200 coins in his pocket. Picks up 400. He's but the rest of Toda catches up with him.
Yeah, Vidal's hits with that M590, and Lauho will be left alone heading in to Mars Electric for that vending machine. But here comes Gracia on the other side, who is dealing with Death at the moment. Not really Death, but Team Flash's Death at this point, and VSK, I would say the sniper of this team can hit you just once, and you will say goodbye.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. Team Flash. Wrong spot, brother. Now he's gonna come landing down on the cloud. That ain't no cloud 9. That's a cloud 2 at this point in time. As Zom bagged up, but not on the ground just yet. There. Appearing. Wrong timing, brother. Manages to get the second around, and the connection is perfect. Zom does not have a medkit on him, and he's just hanging on for his dear life, expecting Death to do something here. Has managed to patch himself up, but ain't got on the chase. B90 in hand, rate of fire and damage perfect to take Zom out of the equation here. But Zom has got the exact same SMG. Only difference is you've got the level 2 helmet and vest on aim guard.
Yeah, let's see though. Here comes Ray as well, but that one hit will bring down the Zom. But Team Flash is not out of the battle just yet. Managed one of the players to be revived, but the same goes for a Todak and won that battle. On the side of your memory. And here comes the group right now. The same goes with Ma'al, but he managed to snipe it out up close.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Don solo here, mag 7 in hand, looking for the tag onto Toots. Oh, no, well done! Unbelievable play! And you know exactly what they say, baby.
RRQ, a team that could have gotten a lot of points and start off their approach being as now. Right now, only one elimination on them. They're still fighting back, and it is and roll with that Bison. That will be third elimination. But who will be the next challenger? Who has inserted that coin? And who's going to go for the fight? It's versus Pro. Taking shots against Limit and Nameless with that powerful managed to take him down.
I cannot believe Don just did a number on RRQ, man, with a max 7 of all things. And it's RRQ, the first team to qualify for the finals, is the first team to get kicked out of the grand finals lobby. How about that? By the team, by of all teams, CRM.
Call it irony.
Oh, this is just crazy. And this is why you cannot predict exactly who's going to be able to dominate here, you know? I mean, even the Titans RRQ of the all that promise that they bring in, they are still going to be at the very edge of their seat game after game because of the quality that we have here in Southeast Asia.
Exactly, and that is one thing that they need to be prepared of. For core memory, we haven't really saw them, or we didn't really saw them that much of a threat to any of the teams until they managed to perform well when Phase 2 or latter part of Phase 2 happened. But right now, I guess they have prepared for this. This is something that really doesn't matter how long it will take, as long as you can eliminate the team up close and personal and then wait for the next challenger. So for Purdue United, they've been doing the same progress or tactics that they have done for the past. Wait it out until 10 to 15 minutes of the game, and then that's where they start farming for points.
Based on esports now. Right in. Look at as Team Flash makes their recovery play here. Looking for Falcons, unintentionally of course, at Bullseye. Circle's going to pressure both squads in. Not a lot of damage on the Circle, but if you do get caught out by the blue in a little up against your opponent, this is very rough to get away from. MGL not finding protection. So, kind of holding on for his dear life here as the rest of the team members are not dropping by to say hello to him. They're focusing on that high ground advantage up against Flash.
Yeah, I mean, that high ground, just in case Team Flash steps out, will definitely give them more of a percentage to get a headshot. But Potato might have been probably left out or really couldn't move up to that rooftop, or is just being the distraction. But we saw a Dynel Killer being popped off, and I guess that's they're preparing to go for the jump on the other side. You know, trying to move Team Flash just again on the battle and the Russian is happening right now. Trying to turn it
looks like something trouble here. Not really taking a risk. Finding the connection. But then just to take all the players and Team Flash now burst out of the window down onto that lower ground. As they patch themselves up, getting ready for round 2. They don't have the numbers! And the Sky delivering a little bit of some hot shot here, delivering carnage in the version of Evo.
Tigers coming in, but from the far long hand managed to take down one of their players. Team Alpha right now has been waiting for the rooftop to drop into the ground floor and have a chance to take them down, but they're not choosing it. They want to step in onto the next phase of the circle. Might be meeting up against Wangham, who has stepped in onto the first phase or second phase of that zone so that they can provide a little bit more cover. But for them, they have a BT on the other side. And you know, when the role of Megatron esports are, they are the Falcon Hunters. The question is, will they be able to hunt?
It's a sticky situation for Toda. The Malaysians, they do have a little bit of cover. But up against Puriram in this circle. Now, Puriram does not look like they are going to go super crazy just yet. Obviously, everybody's waiting for the exact location of their next circle before they can make any sort of big moves. But Jonah keeping an eye on the players from the side of Toda just to make sure they don't get cheeky with anything.
Let's see though, I mean, Brahim United wants to be silent, and then he stepped in middle of the next phase of the circle. Same goes for Todak at the moment, but I think Brahim United has eyes on them already because they popped that monster truck in front. Let's go. Having a hard time moving up right now against AG Global, and all they have to do is wait. They can get into the other side in the water, but that would be risky, especially if AG Global will be going for the flank. But Saifa might be able to do so and snipe them out onto the water, and definitely that will be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Oh, Adrian, making one mistake here. I'm not too sure exactly what Adrian is thinking. He should have stuck together with the rest of his team members because they could have made good work with the glue wall, but Adrian's going to sacrifice himself, holding back the players of AG Global. But look at this, and by far anticipating the rush. Headshot with the F590, deleting Adrian before he stood a chance to do anything in the game.
And Olympus starts to fly through onto the other side, getting away from AG Global. Is there a chance for them to be taken down? Oh, there it goes. Monkey take down, and there goes Adam right now for the count. Only 0 elimination in Onyx Olympus and not
Yeah, brilliant play by
is what Barilla did. They funneled them in and lost Moshi in the process. There's a good chance they can bring him back, but it's really risky because a lot of teams are already waiting for them, and F is on the terrain right now. High ground advantage, good spot, a good chance to spot them with an SBD because Brahim United is slowing the pace down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It looks like Wasana's not Washana just yet, and is popping off. 3 eliminations, M590 is weapon of choice, and I'm very glad to see that Wasana finally on the meta. At least about wreck a couple of heads up there. Oh yeah, Saifa! Just creeping around the corner. Crime stood no chance there whatsoever. Don't try, finds the connection and rips him away. No pickup from the rest of the team. Don't get caught now. Down the bullet. One after the other. You and me. Now down on the ground. But I can't break down. There's no will. Nothing is breaking it down just yet. And the rest of the players on the side of CRM slowly circling around now. Don't cry, in a lot of trouble. LBG shot at from the back. Time to the pull down. And CRM will secure the point for themselves.
And don't cry, just laying back, hiding. Wall, shelter, and fencing expensive. That there is someone waiting. And that is all the way out on AG Global. Start shooting at the esports from distance. With all those shots, they will be spotted. And not only by core memory, but and do not yet picked up. And oh, what a grenade! Barros down on the ground. Exposy follows up as well. And AG Global left with only Cypher here. CRM looking for the final connection, but Cypher holds on to the ground as he shoots through the appears from the back of those containers. Ramping himself up again, but CRM, they've got the numbers now to delete Cypher exactly where he says. And look at put it up in the center of the next circle. Yeah, they have been waiting. They have taken that one team to join them, but they also have a lot of teams surrounding them. So let's see who goes in, knocking in Brahim United's door in this moment. As we go into the 5th and 6th phase of the circle, a lot of teams will be rushing in. As well as BTR, who's stepping in the area. Basically, what he just said is we've got 2 teams in here, one circle, and then 14 left in here, all next to the back, and he flashes, eliminates himself with the circle, like we're going crazy. They launcher, finding the players on the side of Toda. Toda stay hidden away for long enough, and now 5 under pressure. Circle, pushing him away, taking away his health, and checking in on the remaining players, and we are down to the top 4. Versus Trail taken down. M79 from the God will be coming in, but BTR looks from behind against the all Falcons. Put it up. The two big teams that we talked about in this final battle. One is the Squad still standing. The junior rocket team. The big brothers working on a little bit too early. And now put it up. Looking at the opportunity. Attacks from the back as the sacrifice is on fire. Who was left behind by the rest of the Falcons players? And Bigatron Delta picking up the final pieces here. Diggs as well as Young looking for Cororo, but what a smart play with the smoke. He drops the glue wall, blocks the entry, and he gets out of there, leaving Buriram now to deal with Bigatron. Yeah, Buriram already going for flank against Bigatron Esport. That same Falcons for the moment. If in case there will be any survivor in this battle, they can easily bring on that blue wall number right now. A win 3, Team Falcons win 2. Who's going to take that for you? We wanted more out of the finals on Clash Squad yesterday. And these two teams say, no problem, Mustachio, we'll bring it for you, baby. One player down on the ground already, but the pickup ain't too bad at all. Potato with an instant pick on his buddy Cororo, but here comes the glue wall melters as well. No defense for you. Potato backs away and uses a little bit of the radio water back. And now he sees back all back to the vending machine. They bring it back and a full-back booyah. Potato just managed the landmine, takes up on to get high, but single-handedly trying now to do some magic. Hell no! It's Buriram! Now goes to the Honda baby! And they hit up! Oh my goodness! This spells trouble. Everyone else at Buriram United is starting it off. They might have been slow in the beginning of this game, but overall the end they came knocking and taking them out. I mean, Wasana. He held back yesterday. Is it, bro? Tank is limited. Okay, my petrol tank is limited. Okay, I know how much gas I got. I cannot sprint today. I gotta wait for tomorrow because tomorrow is the day. And then tomorrow, yesterday, is today. And today, the grand final of Battle Royale, this man is Shaw MVP for sure, led by Captain Jonah, the two-time world champ, the two-time almost world champ, back with a bang. Oh, definitely. I mean, they might have slowed down in the knockout stage, but now they are showing up. And this is what we need. We're United really bringing it on. They might have not started so much of elimination or getting all those points, but the moment that they step into the fray, or in the middle of the fray, I would say, that is their chance to get all those elimination, even hunt down some who has, well, like, gotten into their personal space, and that's how Buriram United roll. They don't want to let the ball drop anymore. They want to hit that champion rush condition early into the day. Woo! And I think they will be able to do it. We have got a potential maximum of 10 games in the house. Put it up like what 10 games? We played yesterday, we played today. We want to keep it short and simple. We want to end this one early, and you gotta respect not just the capability to get the eliminations, but respect the reading of the circle, respect the positioning early, and they protected their circle, they protected their own defensive spot so well, and Jonah was my personal MVP in that fight as well. That grenade launcher, woo, hit like a truck, Neptune. Definitely, I mean, you know how it is, you know how your Captain Jonah goes. If you have the grenade launcher on him, he will definitely get those knocks. But in a bit, we're going to hear from the team as well on what, hopefully we get a few answers about what happened yesterday, because it's something that we have been questioning, even the fans out there has been asking, and what would be the transition now that they are in Battle Royale in the Battle Royale finals? I'm a man who lives in the present, alright? I don't care about what happened yesterday. I do care. I'm so sorry about the VO7 mistake, guys. I felt so bad after the broadcast again. But today, Battle Royale. Yesterday, Wasana didn't do much. It's alright. Like I said, today's prize
pool is almost triple. Sorry, not almost, more than triple of what we got yesterday. It was not as aiming for the big one, but of course, the most important part of Babuya is the interview. So back to Hanoi. All of y'all go. Neptune and I will catch up with you in a bit.
So let's have a conversation with them, shall we? Xin chào tất cả các bạn khán giả, và đầu tiên đó là Buya rất là hoàn hảo dành cho đội tuyển Buriram United Esport, và ngay bên cạnh mình đây đó chính là thành viên Wasana. Bây giờ chúng ta hãy cùng với họ đôi chút chứ nhỉ? Hello Wasana and hello Misako. Okay, so first of all, how was Hanoi? Is your stay here fun? Did you enjoy it? And how was the crowd here? Oh wow, what a reaction. Okay.ตกใจไปนิดนึงเรียกชั่นแบบหนักมากเขาถามว่ารู้สึกไงบ้างกับการที่มาอยู่ที่ฮานอยในระยะเวลาของการเล่นตอนนี้เป็นไงสนุกไหมฮานอยแล้วผู้ชมล่ะมีความเห็นยังไงบ้าง
ก็รู้สึกเป็นเกียรติมากครับที่ได้มาที่นี่ก็ทุกคนที่นี่ก็น่ารักมากเลยครับเด็กเนี่ยเป็นคนใจดี
So he said it's an honor for him to be here and all the people are so nice and kind. Câu hỏi đầu tiên thì mình hỏi là Wasana cảm thấy như thế nào về Hà Nội, và lần này khi bạn đến thì có vui không, và bạn cảm thấy như thế nào về tất cả mọi người đang có mặt ở tại cái phòng này. Thì Wasana cảm thấy rằng Hà Nội thật sự rất là tuyệt vời, bạn cảm thấy rất là vui và hạnh phúc khi được đến đây, và tất nhiên là mọi người ở đây đều rất là dễ thương và rất là tốt của các bạn à. Okay. So into our second question. Okay, as for Buriram United Esport, I think that they definitely can get into the top 8 to get a ticket to EWC. But overall, I wonder what is their goal today? Is this trophy? Or is there any higher reason? Okay. คำถามนี้คือเราเป้าหมายของเราในวันนี้คืออะไรใช่ถ้วยข้างๆตรงนี้หรือเปล่าหรือว่าตั๋วไป EWC
ทั้งสองครับก็แต่อยากได้ทั้งข้างมากกว่า
So it's both, but preferably the trophy right here right now. Với một cách nghĩ thi đấu ngày hôm nay thì điều mà Wasana cũng như là Buriram United Esport muốn nhất là gì, thì tất nhiên đó chính là chiếc cúp rất là đẹp ngay ở trên đây, và điều mà bạn ở đây muốn nhất đó chính là mang chiếc cúp này về với Thái Lan. Nhưng mà Du Xuân cũng mong rằng là hôm nay họ sẽ gặp rất là nhiều khó khăn trong cái công việc đó chứ nhỉ. So, our third question, since this is just the beginning of the game, we still have nothing much, right? So, but overall, it's still a very great opening for Buriram United Esport. So, can you ask Sana to say something to our Vietnamese audience here? Okay. เขาบอกว่าเราเปิดเกมมาได้ดีมากถึงแม้มันจะยังเหลืออีกหลายเกมก็ตามมีอะไรจะบอกถึงแฟนๆเวียดนามที่นี่ไหม
ก็วันนี้อาจจะจบเร็วหน่อยนะครับ
ไงWhat did he say คว้าหมดเลยปะถูกยากเลย So he said it might end quickly today. So can you tell him to say something in Vietnamese? Okay. บอกแฟนๆเป็นภาษาเวียดนามหน่อย Don't know how to say.
มันดีมากเลยแล้ว
Wasana, can you say anything?
Xin chào.
Xin chào. Xin chào everyone. Okay. Đối với Wasana thì Wasana nói rằng là mọi thứ sẽ kết thúc rất là nhanh vào ngày hôm nay thôi, bởi vì chính Buriram United Esport sẽ là đội tuyển càn quét hết tất cả đối thủ xung quanh ngày hôm nay. Tuy nhiên thì anh ấy cũng đã gửi một lời rất là dễ thương đến tất cả mọi người, đó chính là xin chào người Việt Nam ạ. Okay, so cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều vì đã theo dõi phần 4 của mình và Wasana, và tất nhiên là cảm ơn Misako đã là phiên dịch cho chúng mình. Và bây giờ thì các bạn hãy sẵn sàng đến với trận đấu tiếp theo của chúng ta nhé. Hãy cổ vũ thật là nhiệt tình cho cái đội tuyển nào mọi người ơi. Thank you so much for watching our interview. It was fun. And now let's get back to our culture and about to next game.
You gotta love it, man. You gotta love the stage. You gotta love the host and you gotta love the conclusion of this first game, which answers quite a number of questions posed yesterday. Is Wasana truly gone from his high performance days? And the answer is hell no, not yet, baby. And it was just a phenomenal play from all top three teams, as a matter of fact. Even Bigatron Esports getting into the final circle was not an easy task because they were pretty far away from the zone. And it's Get High that walks away with the MVP overall, most probably because of his support role and capabilities. 3 eliminations, 3 knockdowns, 1,710 on the damage, rocking the electrotherapy through Cassie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the support role has changed the pace of the game, especially when some active skill has been available, specifically the Cassie. I mean, you have been in there backing up your rusher and then the quick pickup that is being done. And with all those effort, it needs to be recognized, and that is why Get High is our MVP for that game number 1. But we're not taking out the performance of the other players from Buddha United. I'm pretty sure they put in a lot of numbers as well, because they didn't really shy down on getting elimination from that fight. But definitely this man is the game changer for the first game of Battle Royale.
Absolutely, and of course, let's take a look at some of the active passives combinations here. Cassie, Tatsuya Koda, Skylar, and we didn't really see the Skylar usage in the final circle, mainly because Moshi got knocked out a tad bit too early. And even though they did not need to revive him, they revived him, and that was very, very nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they already have the man advantage. It was a 2v3 situation, and they wanted to be a 4v2 situation. Well, probably it's because of the lead information. Once you revive Moshi, he will take that rooftop, and he can spot out where the remaining players of Team Falcons is going. But going into the numbers, again, we do have Get High as our MVP, but looking at the rest of the teams, they really worked hard onto it, because Moshi being taken out early, no elimination at this point, and no knockdown, but assist overall really helped the team. But with 5 coming from Jonah, as well as 6 coming from the Wasana himself, then that would give you 14 on the eliminations, was it 12 on the Buddha?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Some fans don't know if they're looking at Wasana player or Pahadi player, right? 6 eliminations, 6 knockdowns. This guy was rocking it out there. 2 assists as well. Wasana's definitely not done just yet. This was just the start. But of course, putting them yesterday up against Falcons, they had a good start. How it ended, though, was definitely not up to them. Falcons brought it to a fantastic close. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how things come to an end today here. Key players, Wasana, Dew, as well as Get High. Dew for the damage, 2,963. We haven't really seen a lot of him, except that phenomenal snipe onto the player from Indonesia that was trying their best to get away from him. But, I want to see a little bit more of AG Global later on, too.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, AG Global has the capability to snipe out a lot of players, especially 2 out there. First damage has been dealt. But as we look into the game standings, it is a huge lead that Buddha United has taken here already with a 26 points, followed by the 17 coming from Team Falcon. And the rest of the teams are close behind. And one thing that I'm thankful in this first map is no one went out or gone out with 0 points. So even PE Sports at bottom managed to get 1 elimination, even 1 placement point.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Buddha with 26 points, which means they need to do this 3 more times in order to be able to complete the champion rush condition before they can aim for a booyah. But of course, if you guys are looking for some solid booyahs out there, and if you're wondering exactly why you're not hitting that, maybe you've got the skill, but you just don't have the right device on your hand just yet. So you might want to pick up the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Comes with a next-gen Snapdragon 8 Elite Galaxy processor featuring an enhanced Vulkan engine, as well as improved ray tracing technology. This delivers outstanding performance, lifelike graphics, as well as a smooth gaming experience. With powerful AI capabilities here in Neptune, top-tier performance, the Galaxy S25 Ultra becomes the ultimate weapon for professional gamers.
Definitely, that is what the teams need right now. Top-tier performance for top-tier level grand finals. This is it, the final day, the final matches that we're going to see for Battle Royale after months or a number of weeks of grueling knockout stages. But again, it might be good for Brim United right now, but some of the teams are in a good spot as well to overtake. Yes, the lead might be that huge because of the number of eliminations. Was the addition of that Booyah 12 points, but we've seen some other teams that take even higher than 26 on the point. And if that will be Team Falcons, who might replicate that or even beat the record of Game 1 for Brim United, we might see them take over that number 1 spot.
Absolutely, and of course we have seen that before. We have seen strong starts, and we have seen inconsistencies. We have seen good teams come crashing down, and if that happens to Buriram today, it's all in a day's work for the other champs who are in here as well. Because we're talking about Southeast Asia. We're talking about not being able to guarantee a booyah from anyone. Just like RRQ. I mean, so much a promise from the Indonesian squad. The first team to qualify for the grand finals from the knockout stage phase 2, and they crashed out early, right? But you have to acknowledge sometimes luck is a factor in here as well, because RRQ is a very skilled squad. They can take on even Buriram and wipe the floor clean with them on a good day. But that's the thing, on a good day, is today going to be a good day for RRQ? I sure as hell hope the early knockout pisses them off, because once RRQ is triggered, there's no stopping them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if RRQ will be able to get back up, they don't just get back up in one game. They follow it up with multiple games to catch up with the points that whoever is number 1 is doing. And that's what they did in the world stage. That's what they did in the previous competition. Yes, they haven't taken any championship just yet, but the way they're taking each tournament is leading to that spot, leading them that they are very, very close to grab a championship.
Yeah, let us not forget, in the most recent FFWS Global, it was RRQ in that second spot, almost becoming the world champions. It was very unfortunate. I was very sad to see that for RRQ, and obviously they're going to be building up to something phenomenal once again. If it is not the Global World Championship for FFWS, perhaps they can aim for EWC first, but a good stepping stone will be FFWSC Spring 2025. Everybody wants to aim for it, and of course you've got some extra pocket money before you travel out to Saudi Arabia. There's something that you're looking for as well, and we're looking at not just the top 3 teams for the champion, right? We are looking at the qualifiers for EWC as well through the grand finals,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're looking at top 8 out of all the 12 teams right here, but let's also take note that we have Team Falcons already qualifying because they are the reigning champions of EWC. So I guess from Southeast Asia, it would be 9 teams that would be going in to Riyadh.
Yeah, 9 teams, because we assume Falcons is going to be part of the top 8. and if something goes wrong, if Falcons do not squeeze themselves into the top 8, this is where things get a little bit crazy and only 8 teams qualify. But I think that would be impossible, right? Looking at what Falcons did to Buriram yesterday, those boys can play a good game of Free Fire, and of course we just saw them in that final circle as well. So they are on route to picking up some solid points for themselves to climb this leaderboard, and they're somewhere up there at the top right now. But that's just game 1. We've got potentially 9 more games to go. I'm very excited for this brand new Champion Rush format, and looking forward to seeing exactly how some of these teams can push themselves, because of course it brings us to a question: what if Buriram attains the Champion Rush condition by game 4? Then what? Because if you do not hot drop them, if you do not stop them in their route to becoming champions, you are going to lose your opportunity. So there might just be potential hot drops on the champs after the activate Champion Rush condition. But of course the second question that follows that is, who's got the balls to do it?
Definitely. I mean, that is a tough question, because even from the past, they have a potential to grab a spot in the top 12, grab a spot on whatever like standings they want to bring in, and it will only begin if they go for the hard drop. But none of the teams, well, only a few, I would say, only a few teams are really doing so. But I guess we might see it right here. We don't have that Champion Rush condition just yet, but we are jumping in on to the next map. This is game number 2 of the FIFA World League Southeast Asia Spring 2025, and let's bring it on.
Absolutely, as we head on into game number 2 is Alpine time, baby. And just like Iceland, you are not going to find ice everywhere. You're going to find a lot of greenery. As we head on into Alpine, very fair, Toda. Why you do this to yourself? I don't know if Toda understands, but Snowfall does belong to Buriram, and this might just be trouble that they're looking for very early on.
That's one thing though. I mean, coming from the phase 2 where Buriram United started phase 2 not being part of the mix, Todak has been very, I would say, confident in their drop spot here, but I'm not sure if this is something that they didn't expect or probably just got used to it. So, as you can see, they are already leaving the scene as the UASB is trying to chase them out. But speaking of chasing, we have Virtus Pro in a chase. Always vice versa. Again, RRQ in a phase. Quickly as that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean by luck, right? You've got the M1014 going up against the M1887, and obviously the M1014 has got a much higher rate of fire as a shotgun, and the man just barely, took a breath in that engagement. He just jumped, he shot non-stop, he got the knock, and he claims the first point for RRQ. So the first team to get knocked out in the previous round is the first team to pick up the first point in game 2.
Now, let's see though, we are seeing Hitless being put in as well on the map, but that also spells that Team Falcons or Potato's position will also be put on the map. So, well, I guess this is what Team Falcons is doing right now, saying confusion, and that is where they will be waiting if anyone can or will be knocking on their doors. But the rest of the teams right now are busy looting up, preparing for what's about to happen, and I don't think there's a need for them to rush that quickly.
Absolutely, and AG up against Bigatron Esports potentially here, as Cypher keeps an eye on them with the AN94. But of course I don't expect him to do much, as the rest of his team members are not really in position for a big battle, so AG Global will probably be starting off very, very slow here, looking for those points.
Yeah, I mean, AG Global has struggled so far in knockout stage, and I guess what they're doing right now is go for survivability. We know that they have potential to go long range, put up so much of damage, and even steal a lot of those elimination, but I don't think they, as early as this, they don't have those snipers just yet. But for Cypher, there's a good chance that he might be able to take down. That would be a risk of being exposed on Trigger. He needs to confirm this, and there goes! Also amazing. Now what? Rushes through on Cypher.
Yeah, very smart play by Bigatron Esports. Good, Cypher! Not letting off at all, quickly spinning around, finding Kion! It comes still standing here. Cypher doing so much of damage, has one from the corner! Cypher! What a player! Player after player on the side of Bigatron Esports, getting more down to the ground. But Cypher now in a little bit of trouble here. If he makes one more mistake in the re-engagement, chooses to back away, and a smart play by Cypher. And but now, the rest of the players the Thompson whipped out, Chinoy finds one, and Bigatron Esports down and out, and all thanks to Cypher.
Yeah, I was expecting AG Global to be silent, the deadly assassin, and there's a map, but now once Bigatron Esports jump into the open, I guess Cypher, despite of how difficult his position is, he was solo here in Rai, in that compound second floor, but I guess he got the permission for the rest of the teams. We're coming in, so I guess you can start shooting and shooting. That's what he did.
Absolutely, man. I mean, and you gotta respect the fact that this man played the game patience. He could have taken the shot earlier, and the A94 in his hands, he waited patiently for that ball. The rest of the members from the side of AG Global, as they approached Rai, that's when he took the shot. And that distraction made the players on the side of Bigatron Esports going for the rush to take him down. They put or something to detect him there. Understanding there's only one player, but that was the biggest mistake they made, because they just ran in to a and that was one of the best traps we have seen executed by a team in a long, long time.
Injoyed tries to run away. The glue wall saves him. But Cypher will has a good opening with M590, but here comes the special
to push Cypher away from the window. They just brunch all of down all nice grenades. On a different angle to continue shooting at them.
He starts off the fray, and he's the one going for the takedown first. But I guess for Chino, it's so unfortunate. He went out. Final moment, he stepped in. He still not shot. But Romanos right now looks well. He tries to fight back, moves away, and distraction. No, he's following him. They are trying to chase him through the wall, but finally a takedown happens.
Goodness me, Maros. Good play there. And without Cypher, automatically this team just struggling a tad bit in that engagement, and you only had enough money to buy back one of his players. So AG Global, although that was a phenomenal start up against Bigatron Esport, they're now on the back foot. You have to catch up with them in a little bit. And we see our chat here on the official YouTube page. Come on guys, support whoever you want from all three fighting teams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as we often say, we don't find any specific team anywhere is performing. Everyone who is really playing it to heart, that is what we we can feel it, we can see it as well on how they perform right now. United going in against underdog. Dodak probably should, put it up, fighting one. And it's the MTL that knocks down Noki.
And that's very well played, and Dora says, nope, not now, not today. They back away from there instantaneously, but put it up, still keeping an eye on them. By the way, Red Hawks, they rock behind rocks as well. Everybody in the world, we fire rocks. Oh yeah. You rock. I want to see more of you regardless of what region from. But as we go back into the fight RQ right now, is being hunted, or I would say Liz has been put in for RQ against.
नहीं बताएंगे उसका कब करते हैं ना सुबह मुझे अपने में पड़े रहे रात में आए कहीं 11:30 बजे के बाद या 11 बजे वाला तो सुबह के हमको कहते हैं उनका फ़ोन करो देखो कहाँ है तो कहते सुबह कहने के सचिन साथे गए हैं तो हम वो पूछो आए गए हैं किसी से तो गए हैं तब अजीत का फ़ोन किए तो वे कहीं नहीं है दुकान पर नहीं हम लोग घर आ चुके हैं धीरे सचिन साथ गए हैं फिर शशि बोले कि हम तो आ चुके हैं मतलब बाहर जा रहे हैं धीरे घंटा भेज के जा चुके हैं पहुँचने वाले होंगे फिर तुरंत सुबह छत पर चले गए तो हम कहीं लग सकते साथ के देखी ये बच्चियाँ बाहर आ चुके रहे और इनकी पंखौली कट गई सची लेके गए आए ये थके रहे हाँ दरवाजा खोले तो इसे खड़े रहे पूरा घर चढ़ जाते हैं गर्मी में भाई थोड़ी गाड़ी पर तो चक्कर इसलिए आ जाता क्या सजा लड़की क्या करती रहा हमने पहले पूरी सीधी चलना सीख लिया फिर बाद में तो सजा आगे तक है आपने ये कहा था ये है ना हम तो कुछ पिए रही थे दिमाग में नशे टूट रही थी हम बोले नहीं हम भैया दूसरा एक पर चले आए जब ये आए फिर पानी कहे तो हम क्या कहाँ जा रहे हो तो ये बोले हमके हुआ ना जब पानी नहीं है टंकी में आए ये सुनने ध्यान नहीं दी हम क्या हमके नशे आके कुछ सुनाई कर जब ये यहाँ बाथरूम में हाथ धोने लगा तब कह लगे हमने 3 उंगली कट गई 15 में है तुमका न और हम तो न सही करे ना तो हम तो थोड़ी ना दर्द होते तो हमने उंगली कहाँ कट गई ये बोले नहीं क्या बताओ कहाँ कैसे कट गई हमने कहा गिर गया कहीं हाँ ये कहीं हाँ हमने कहा गाड़ी लेके पलट गया आप भैया उड़ा तो हाँ हम दिए ना तो गाड़ी लेके पलट गए पंगन बटी गाड़ी तो ली ना तंगे बताइए तब हम जाने बिगड़ पता हम कहाँ जान जाइए हमके जब हम निकले रहा तब तो तुम ठीक ठाक बैठे बतलिया क्या कहने के काम की यहाँ उंगली कटी है और खून तो बहुत बहा अब सुबह फिर खून रही उंगली से आएगा पट्टी टिकाने से बोला ठीक है तो निकाल दी कहें जाकर के इंजेक्शन लगवा लो टिटनेस का इंजेक्शन नहीं लगवाई कहा लगे कि वो कूलर वाला पंखा है प्लास्टिक में कटी में पंखा रहा था ये वाला है लोहे नहीं रहा पंखा कूलर लाए 100 पैनल लाए इनके दुकान पे यहाँ वो कूलर बनावत रहा है तो चालू करें बना नहीं वह कट गई इनकी उंगली लाइट इतना लगा नहीं है तो 7,000 रुपये ठुक गए इससे बढ़िया 5-6 हज़ार रुपये कूलर ले लेते तो नहीं उनके बनाना चाचा दे दो खा चुके हो आइसक्रीम नहीं है आइसक्रीम नहीं मोबाइल मोबाइल देते नहीं दे रहे
Ano? Ayo. Ayo. Anay.
मोबाइल क्या
Betul.
वो दिखा रहे हैं एक हफ्ते कहाँ समझ में
ऊपर खुद खड़े हो ऊपर खड़े हो खुद ये डाली है ये
Faiz, but they have peace with us right now before they go for that chase. But it might be a pinch right now because we have Todak on one side, we have Onyx Olympus trying to chase down RRQ into Rai, and also the blue will be closing in from the second to the third phase of the circle.
Yeah, absolutely. RRQ in a quick position. But this was sweet.
Damage has been dealt. Points, which means they need to do this 3 more times in order to be able to complete the champion rush condition before they can aim for a booyah. But of course, if you guys are looking for some solid booyahs out there, and if you're wondering exactly why you're not hitting that, maybe you've got the skill, but you just don't have the right device on your hand just yet. So you might want to pick up the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Comes with a next-gen Snapdragon 88 Galaxy processor featuring a good spot as well to overtake. Yes, the lead might it's all yes they may have ball games. We might see it right here. We don't have that jumping rush condition just yet, but we are jumping in on to the next map. This is game number 2 of the Free Fire World Series Southeast Asia Spring 2025. And let's see who will bring it on. Absolutely, as we head on into game number 2 is Alpine time, baby.
And just like Iceland, you are not going to find ice everywhere. You're going to find a lot of greenery.
As we head on into Alpine.
Very fair, Toda. Why you do this to yourself? I don't know if Toda understands, but Snowfall does belong to Buriram, and this might just be trouble that they're looking for very early on.
That's one thing though, I mean coming from the phase 2 where Brim United started phase 2 not being part of the fix, Todak has been very, I would say confident in their drop spot here, but I'm not sure if this is something that they didn't expect or probably just got used to it. So as you can see, they are already leaving the scene as the UASB is trying to chase them out. But speaking of chasing, you have Virtus Pro in a chase, always by first. Hands are arguing a
Yeah, that's what I mean by luck, right? You've got the M1014 going up against the M1887, and obviously the M1014 has got a much higher higher rate of fire as a shotgun, and the man just barely, took a breath in that engagement. He just jumped, shot non-stop. He got the knock, and he claims the first point for RR. So the first team to get knocked out in the previous round is the first team to pick up the first point in game 2.
Now let's see now. We are seeing Hitless being put in as well on the net, but that also spells that Team Falcons or Potato position will also be put on the map. So, well, I guess this is what Team Falcons doing right now. Fusion, and that is where they will be waiting. Anyone can, or he'll be knocking on their doors. But the rest of the teams right now are busy looting up, preparing for what's about to happen, and I don't think there's a need for them to rush that quickly.
Absolutely, and AG up against Bigatron Esports potentially here, as Cypher keeps an eye on them with the AN94. But of course, I don't expect him to do much as the rest of his team members are not really in position for a big battle, so AG Global will probably be starting off very, very slow here looking for those points.
Yeah, I mean, AG Global has struggled so far in knockout stage, and I guess what they're doing right now is go for survivability. We know that they have potential to go long range, put up so much of damage, and even steal a lot of those elimination, but I don't think they, as early as this, they don't have those snipers just yet. But for Cypher, there's a good chance that he might be able to take that. That would be a risk of being exposed on Twitter. You need to confirm this. Rushes through on Cypher.
Yeah, very smart play by Bigatron Esports. Nice Cypher! Not letting up at all quickly. Fighting here! Still standing here. Cypher doing so much of damage.
Damage. The need them to rush that quickly. In as well on the net, but that also spells that Team Falcons or Potato be put on the map. So, well, I guess this is what Team Falcons is doing right now. Fusion, and that is where they will be waiting. Anyone, or he'll be knocking on. The rest of the teams right now are busy looting up, preparing for what's about to happen, and I don't think there's a need for them to rush that quickly.
Absolutely, and AG up against Bigatron Esports potentially here, as Cypher keeps an eye on them with the AN94. But of course, I don't expect him to do much as the rest of his team members are not really in position for a big battle, so AG Global will probably be starting off very, very slow here looking for those points.
Yeah, I mean, AG Global has struggled so far in knockout stage, and I guess what they're doing right now is go for survivability. We know that they have potential to go long range, put up so much of damage, and even steal a lot of those elimination, but I don't think they, as early as this, they don't have those snipers just yet. But for Cypher, there's a good chance that he might be able to take that. That would be a risk of being exposed on Twitter. You need to confirm this. Rushes on Cypher.
Yeah, very smart play by Bigatron Esports. Nice Cypher! Not letting up at all quickly. Fighting here! Still standing here. Cypher doing so much of damage. What a player! Player after player on the side of Bigatron Esports getting more down to the ground. But Cypher now in a little bit of trouble here. He's one moment of re-engagement. Chose to back away in a smart play by Cypher. The Thompson whipped out, Chinoy finds one, and Bigatron Esports down and out, and all thanks to Cypher.
Yeah, I was expecting AG Global to be silent, the deadly assassin, and there's a map, but no, once Bigatron Esports jump into the open, I guess Cypher, despite of how difficult his position is, he was solo here in Rye in that compound second floor, but I guess he got the permission for the rest of the teams. We're coming in, so I guess he can start shooting and shooting. That's what he did. Absolutely, man. I mean, and you gotta respect the fact that they had played the game, patience. He could have taken the shot earlier, and the AI ball in his hands, he waited patiently for the rest of the members from the 780 Global. As they approached Rye, that's when he took the shot. And then distraction made the players on the side of Bigatron Esports going for the rush to take him down. They must have popped the quota or something to detect him there. Understand there's only one player, but that was the biggest mistake they made because they just ran into a fantastic trap. And that was one of the best traps we have seen executed by a team in a long, long time. So props to AG. But now, got another competitor here in the name of Flash. Yeah, let's see if they will be out in a flash or probably flushing them out. ABC already in a rush. Wang M on the flank. Chinoy tries to run away. The glue wall saves him, but Cypher will be going for that. Shot now, and Chinoy has a good opening with M590, but here comes the setup from Team Flash. Only two on the front line, and Maros goes in for the flank, but the sum will be deadly, especially on a Mag 7 in that elevation.
Yeah, Barros literally tanking the ice grenade here. Speaking of ice grenade, there was a smart play by Bigatron Esports earlier on as well. To push Cypher away from the window, they just barraged him with all of the own ice grenades. And that really didn't stop Cypher at all. In fact, he just rotated around, found a different angle to continue shooting at them. Keep the players away from him. So very smart play overall from Cypher earlier, but Pinoy tries to back away. Flash, I think his back shot on the ball. Cypher reposition. Cypher doing so much for the squad.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he starts off the fray, and he's the one going for the takedown first. But I guess for Chinoy, it's so unfortunate. He went into the open, but it doesn't have any blue walls, and the flash starts shooting. He had no choice but to fight out. Final moment, he stepped in. He still got it. But Maros right now, he tries to fight back, moves away, and distraction. Following it, they are trying to chain him through the wall, but finally a takedown happens.
Goodness me, Maros. Good play there. And without Cypher, automatically this team just struggling a tad bit in that engagement, and you only had enough money to buy back one of his players. So AG Global, although that was a phenomenal start up against Bigatron Esports, they're now on the back foot. Yeah, we'll catch up with them in a little bit. Let me see our chat here on the official YouTube page. Come on, guys, help support whoever you want. Of all three teams.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as we often say, we don't find any specific team anywhere that is performing. Everyone who is really playing it to heart, that is what we feeling to see as well on how they perform right now. Going in against underdog, the Zodak probably I mean, put it up, fighting one. And it's an MTL that knocks down Loki.
And that's very well played. And Dora says, nope, not now, not today. They back away from there instantaneously, but put it up, still keeping an eye on them. By the way, Red Hawks, they rock behind rocks as well. Everybody in the world, Free Fire rocks. Oh, yeah.
You rock. Want to see more of you regardless of what region from. But as we go back in, it's just like our view right now, it's being hunted, or I would say this has been put in for our view against Faiz, but they have to deal with us right now before they go for that trade. But it might be a pinch right now because we have Zodak on one side, we have Onyx Olympus trying to chase down RRQ into Rye, and also the blue will be closing in from the second to the third phase of the circle.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. RRQ, quick reposition. But this was happening. Carnage as the frames drop right beside each other. With a PE Sports RRQ. If one breathes, the other will hear.
You have to be very, very silent at this point. And 4 teams taking 4 compound in this area. There's still space for one though. I'm just flying in right here just to join the fray, especially if this is part of the next phase or the center of next phase of the circle, because they want to maintain survivability. They want those placement point, and if hiding out is one tactic that they can do so, fans out there might say it's camping, but I would say that's strategy.
Absolutely, man. It's not camping if this is a game of chess, right? They are planning to move 10 steps ahead, and obviously they have to wait to see if they're gonna be moving 10 steps all in one go. That ain't chess, that's just chaos.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you will be going overboard, and definitely literally overboard. That's it.
Stay on the board. Not overboard.
Well, if you go overboard, that means you're out.
You mean like RRQ in the previous game?
Yes, so they went overboard. They went a little bit too aggressive at the start, and they went out. Well, let's see now who goes out next in this game. We still have 11 fighting binocular out and that will be helping repeat the position, or probably because they don't see anyone, they can take that call. But for these 5 but can take down Team Falcon. But actually was not goes down with a mag 7.
And this is what happens when you don't have, you get shot at. Now Team Flash, you want to shut down on fire, protecting his buddy, and straight down the ground while Cab is a 2v1. Manages to barricade himself. Fantastic boost in HP for his buddy. And on fire will still hold himself up. It's a 3v1 and on fire hanging on for his dear life.
Yeah, Team Flash right now needs to recover because Virtus Pro will be knocking in the quick players like rushing and that's it. Wipe out as quickly as that. They didn't even have the time to celebrate and win against Team Falcon.
Moment once the glue wall goes down, can start firing off here. Chinoy. They will fall one after the other.
Yeah, Chinoy was just sidestepping that shot. Just Kodak falling down one at a time. And elimination, despite of how they fell earlier, they have a good chance. But Nogi right now, shot from outside, and Miles for him to be sacrificed, otherwise they will be out. And there you have it on the 9th place. They want to go silent, all the noise is chasing them down. It's a good thing they were able to spot out a good spot next to AG Global. They are on the edge of the next phase of the circle, but AG Global is itching to knock on their doors. Let's see if they can take down the Titan or they can
Yeah, man, and now putting them up against AG Global 18. The most number of eliminations here, motion straight down by Chinoy. Bison in hand.
With long-range engagement, they can go up close and personal, and that's what they need. For either Evo's in line right now, they might have lost a lot of battle, and even Diamond managed to squeeze in one nade, leaving only Russ behind for the team, and that would be a long run for him, and he might see Onyx Olympus as he approach this circle.
Yeah, you know, Buriram got taken down there. If it was Red Hawks, AG Global would have been toast. Core memory, just teasing the circle alongside Russia as well. EVOS, I'm not sure exactly what they're kind of like on the outside, whether or not they have enough numbers, but AG Global, yeah. Of the next zone, which also means they get to gatekeep the esports if they close the route. Now, on the still managed to go and take down a core memory. We're left with 4 teams remaining, and on the seems like, or seems to be in a good position. Desperately holding on. And the two teams that have got the high potential of a booyah, both from Thailand, AG Global and Virtus Pro.
Yeah, and the blue will be closing and moving in towards Virtus Pro. Good position being held by AG Global. They started shooting at Onyx Olympus and backs turned against Virtus Pro, but they put up that blue wall onto the window just to make sure they will not be backstabbed. But there's no more waiting for that opportunity anymore because AG Global needs to move all those melters being laid down so that blue walls will not stand up, and Expose will be waiting on one side as Diamond.
Oh yeah, just here. 590, back in the wing, my little drug elimination in that Virtus Pro. How phenomenal is that? With Diamond leading the fray, the M590. And this is ring around the rosy on this building now, but due to the high ground advantage, AWM, but has got no angles to work against the players on the side of Virtus Pro, which means the team of AG Global is one man down. Diamond sneaking around, looking for one, and the blue wall goes down! God, with them up and down. Players on the side of AG. David now playing out. Diamond, liberal now, they can take it down as well. And Virtus Pro about to pull off a absolute upset on AG Global.
LNC double R is still on the roll. Cypher, no time to recover.
Backstab. Whoa!